Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? So, in today's discussion, we'll discuss about the effect of gambling and why gambling is actually prohibited in Bangladesh. So, as a law professional and advocate, I would like to talk about the effect of gambling in Bangladesh. And first of all, I have to mention that there are no specific laws related to the gambling and gambling related activities. And Bangladesh government, they have no strategy how they will stop, remove, and curtail the gambling related activities from the society. So there is a huge vacuum of implementation, and there is a huge vacuum of definition of gambling related activities. So in the year 1867, during the time of British regime, they also initiated a new law. The law's name is Public Gambling Act 1867. And British, I have already mentioned, the British was they are very smart, they are updated, even they have the intention to make new laws for the social well-being and the social welfare. But this is the time of 2026. Until now, we did not get any kind of single laws related to the prohibition of gambling in Bangladesh. According to Bangladesh Contract Act, wagering contract is actually void. But in wagering contract, you can also find only 500 taka only. So by fining 500 taka, it is not the absolute way to prohibit the gambling in Bangladesh. Actually, in practice and social codification, gambling is prohibited because it is haram according to the philosophy of Islam, Sunnah, and Quran. But in reality, people used to engage in gambling without any kind of justification. So this is the core demand of our society. We have to come forward to stop these types of activities. So first of all, I have to mention why gambling is actually prohibited and what is the effect of gambling. The first reason is that in gambling there are no option of hard working, and in Islam there is a prohibition whenever you are making huge amount of money without doing any kind of hard work, without paying any kind of mental activities, without doing anything, then these types of activities is actually haram. So only for these reasons gambling is haram, and there is uncertainty. For example, you are investing 500 taka in gambling. There are no region, there are no prediction you will get 500 taka or 5 lakh taka. You may get 5 lakh taka, or you may get nothing. So this is the actual fraudulent of gambling, and for these reasons gambling is actually prohibited. So what is the social perspective in Bangladesh? Actually, in the British colonial country, in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, there are a huge amount of gamblers, and it was also initiated before the time of the British regime, and the British regime, they have actually failed to stop these types of gamblers. So for these reasons they have no intention to follow the Islam, to follow the Quran, to follow the Sunnah. Even in Hinduism it is also prohibited to initiate the plan of gambling, and in Christianity it is also prohibited. So after the discussion we can say that gambling is literally prohibited and haram from the all kinds of social, religious, and economic perspective. But why right now I'm talking about the gambling? Because very recently gambling is on kind of cancer for our society, because our school going children, they are initiating the gambling, our college going children, they are initiating the gambling, our future students, even our professional also, they are also engaged in gambling. So very recently people are concerned about the drug dealing activities, but right now people are concerned about the gambling and the gambling related activities. So this is the time we have to take the codification, we have to make new laws for stop the gambling from our society. So that I have already mentioned, we have a laws, Public Gambling Act 1867, but this laws was primitive, this laws was not updated. Whenever you have laws and codification but there are no types of single implementation of the laws, how is it possible to stop the gambling from the act? So this is the time we have to reform, we have to reproduce the new laws for initiating the prohibition of gambling from Bangladesh, because not only from the social perspective but also from the religious perspective it has an effect on the society. So as a legal professional, I'd like to request the present government to make specific codified, updated and digital laws related to the gambling, which will include all kinds of definition of gambling. For example, in Dhaka city, there are lots of ways of gambling. For example, the casino system. In every area of Dhaka city, there are existing of casino, and the people are doing these types of activities in casino in front of the law enforcement agencies. Police actually know everything. Police have every information about the gamblers, offline gamblers. But the thing is that they have a strong affiliation with the political leaders. So only for the affiliation, it is not possible for the police officer or the law enforcement agencies to take the effective measurement stopping prohibition of gambling from our society. So this is not the practice. We have laws, regulations. According to Article 18A of Bangladesh Constitution, gambling is also prohibited from the practice and from the culture. Bangladesh government, they will take the effective measurement to stop the gambling from the society, and they will take the effective measurement to make and ensure new laws which is actually related for our social dignity and social morality. And I would like to thank the present government. Bangladesh government have initiated a new plan to make the laws related to gambling. So that I have already mentioned, Bangladesh government, they have made a laws. The law's name is Cyber Security Act 2026. This law is active, essential, and also make a very good vibe among our legal professional. But in a specific measurement, in an section, it is said that if any kind of person is doing the gambling, if any kind of institution or authority is doing the gambling, he will be punished. He will get the punishment for 2 years imprisonment, and at that same time he have to pay on crore taka as fine. So this is a very good loss for the Bangladeshi measurement and mechanism. So if there is absent of this loss, then there are no option to say that gambling is actually legal in Bangladesh. That I have already mentioned. In our social practice and customary practice, gambling is actually prohibited. But till now, no single laws and codification define the whole concept of gambling. For example, I have already mentioned the casino system. This is the part of gambling. So right now, there is online betting system. There are huge amount of games ongoing in the present universe. For example, after 5 or 6 days, there will be FIFA World Cup 2026, and at that same time, there are lots of games related to the football and cricket. And the students in university going students, they are starting the gambling only from the 200 taka. So if the police officers and if the law enforcement agencies, they are able to stop the gambling from the very tertiary level, it will actually give a very good result in the future time. So actually, I would like to request the law enforcement agencies to implement the new laws with hard hand, and that will be so much effective for the codification of Bangladesh. So why gambling actually affecting our single society in recent times? The first reason is that it also destroys the economic concept of our society, because people have a huge amount of desire to become a rich person. So only from this perspective, people are investing huge amount of money in the gambling investment, and in retribution they are not getting. And only for the greedy, they are again investing the money to think that they will actually income twice, thrice, and fourth from the invested money. The third reason is that our society, it is not aligned with the philosophy of gambling. And I have already mentioned in Islam and the Islamic rituals, gambling is also prohibited and haram. So as a Muslim people, as a common people, and as a Bengali people, our sole duty is to raise our voice against gambling, and that will be so much effective for the codification of gambling in the future time. While I'm talking about the gambling and the gambling related activities, I have to also talk about some of the celebrities who are engaged in gambling promotion and gambling related activities. So Sakib Al Hasan is my hero, but very recently Sakib Al Hasan involved in a gambling promotion and gambling advertisement. So I would like to request Sakib Al Hasan not to do these types of activities for the well-being of our society. You can be a rich person, you can be a celebrity, but you have to remind that our society never align, our society never support these types of waste philosophy, these types of illegal practice, which is literally destroying our youth society, which is literally destroying our professional society as well as our school going children. So with the common people, we have to come forward to stop these types of prohibition from the society, and at that same time the law enforcement agencies have to come forward with moral policing, and we have to make a very moral education not to engage in gambling from the tertiary level, and we can initiate a education plan from the university, from the school, from the colleges, and that will actually reduce the symptom of gambling from our society. Otherwise we have no option in our hand, and we have been facilitated these types of illegal practice since the commencement of social internet from 2016 to 2017. So this is the time to say something against the philosophy of gambling, because it is not aligned our social philosophy, social practice, and social norms actually. So having lots of limitations, having lots of political affiliation, having lots of social affiliation, we have to raise our voice, and in the long run we will become successful to remove these types of illegal practice from our society with a very short time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.